Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and welcome back to another Asphalt 9 news video. Today we have the patch notes for the City of Lights update for Asphalt 9, and of course we got the new Paris track. Now if you want to see gameplay of that track, be sure to click up on your screens right now where a video should pop up. It's my previous video where I got some exclusive footage from Gameloft going over the new track. And to answer someone's question in the comments, no, I was not using touch drive. That is not my footage. I am still playing manual drive. Anyway, yeah, this looks like a really exciting track. I'm excited to jump in and check it out. We'll talk about how that track is going to be introduced in the later part of this video, but let's get on to all of the new cars in this update. So the first one here, unfortunately, I don't have the stats yet, but it is the Donkervoort D8 GTO individual series. What I can tell you is it is in C-Class, I believe. And yeah, one of the cars, I believe this brand is an Asphalt 8. I don't know if it's the exact same car itself, but you'll notice that's a bit of a pattern throughout this update, is a lot of cars returning from Asphalt 8, which is really cool to see. Next up, we have the Legend Pass exclusive car. It is the legendary Ferrari F50. Now, unfortunately for you Ferrari fanatics, this car is going to be pretty darn low in B class. Unfortunately, even with its max stats, its rank is only 2,576. So yeah, unfortunately, this probably is not going to be another like really good Legend Pass car, depending on how you look at it. Maybe that's a good or bad thing. What I can tell you is that the decal for this looks absolutely stunning. Now, as with the Ferrari F50, I do have the max stats luckily with me, so you'll be able to see those as well. But next up we have the McLaren 600 LT Spider, another B class car. Doesn't look like it'll be at the top of B class, unfortunately, but it does look like it has insane acceleration. You can see it goes all the way up to 86, so hopefully this seems like it will be a multiplayer beast. Next up, we have the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT Black Series. Can you just look at this monster for a second? Now, I don't think it shows off very well in the pictures that Gameloft provided, but I'll show you guys a picture that I actually took of one in real life, and you can see that the spoiler on this thing is nuts. I believe it has like a 3-stage spoiler, and part of it is an active wing, which is absolutely nuts. So this thing looks track ready. Now, we'll get into the different events in a second, but I believe this one will be obtainable through a Grand Prix, and you can see that its max rank of 40-48 is pretty darn good for C class. Next up, we have the two S-Class cars for this update, both of which are returning from Asphalt 8. Firstly, we have the 2015 GTA Spano. One of the fan favorites of Asphalt 8 was the GTA Spano, and this is the 2015 version, which again, I believe was also in Asphalt 8. Now, taking a look at the max stats of this car, it seems like okay, but looking at its actual rank of around 4,373, it's not going to be placed very high in S-Class. It might be pretty decent for maybe a bit of multiplayer use, but honestly, I wouldn't worry too much if you can't get this car. It just looks really cool, and it's a nice piece to have if you like Asphalt 8 memories, but I don't think this car is going to be very meta in multiplayer. Next up, we have the higher rank S-Class car, and this is the Torino Design Supersport. Again, another car coming back from Asphalt 8, although I believe this one was only recently added to the game, maybe in the last year or two. But it does look like a pretty decent S-Class car, not a king, not really in that top, you know, SSE Tuatara, Koenigsegg Jesko territory of cars, but maybe this will be just a decent car to use in some multiplayer if, you know, you run out of fuel in some of your other S-Class cars. Now, the acceleration looks okay, but it's nowhere near something like the Battista or something like that. So I don't really know where this car particularly stands out. Let me know if anything catches your eye. Maybe the nitro efficiency looks pretty darn good at 75, but again, not a king of its class, but nice to see coming back from Asphalt 8. All right, so as I said previously, I'm going to go over all of the different events for this season, and this is where the interesting stuff really happens. So a while ago, we found out that the Faraday Future FF01 was actually in the game, and there were two versions, and we knew that there was this thing called the road test coming up. Well, now that event is finally coming to the game. So again, it's called Road Test, and this is where you will be able to win the Faraday Future FF01. Again, it's a nice S-Class car. So during this event, you'll be able to use and upgrade a loaned version of the car, and you complete the event tasks using this loaned car to gain blueprints and to unlock and star up your own personal version for your collection. So this event will recur a bunch of times and come back, and it will offer multiple chances to get the featured car, but of course try your best and progress within the event when it comes out, and it will be reset for each edition, and this includes the car upgrades that you make during the loaned road test car. So let me back up for a second because this might sound a little confusing. A lot of other games have introduced this type of event where you use a loaned car, and then once you complete that event, you get to keep that car, or you just get to unlock a normal version of that car. And this is going to be the same thing, but in Asphalt 9. So assuming that it's sort of structured like all of the other special events, you will basically start out with a 1-star FF0, upgrade it, go through the events, maybe you have to buy some things or upgrade it to progress, and then at the end, during different milestones, you'll get more blueprints for your version of the car. So when it talks about the upgrades being reset each time, again, that's only talking about the loaned version of the car. So anything you get for your own version of the FF0 will stay yours, so don't worry about that. So let's talk about all of the normal events coming with this update. And like I said previously, the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT Black Series, which is the new C-Class King, will be obtainable through a Grand Prix event. Now, the Torino Design Supersport and 2015 GTA Spano will both have their own dedicated special events. Now, unfortunately, it says that both events will need Legend Pass exclusive cars to be fully completed, although you will be able to make some progress without the Legend Pass cars. So hopefully this means that even if you don't get the Legend Pass cars, you will be able to progress enough to where you can unlock packs and actually just buy the cars themselves, but we'll have to wait and see the specific details of each event. And we will, of course, have a Legend Pass exclusive car hunt, and that will be the Pure Italia Berlinetta, and we will have a normal car hunt, this time featuring the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. So this is the C8 in C-Class, and it will be out of early access for the first time, although we had that Black Panther versus AA12 gaming event where I think everyone unlocked the C8 Corvette who participated in that event, so this will be a nice place to start up the C8 Corvette. There will also be a key hunt for the Ferrari 599XX Evo, and just to remind you guys what the difference is between a key hunt and a car hunt is, in a key hunt it works the same way as a car hunt. However, if you get the car to a certain star count, most likely the maximum amount of stars, you can complete the race with that car and get the key for that car. Of course, the Ferrari 599XX Evo is a key car. Of course, we will also have some different Starway events, this time featuring the Huracan Evo Spider and the Peugeot Onyx, which is nice because you want to use that nice French car on the Paris track. Now, they also say that the Looper game mode is coming back with its own time-limited event for the first time. Don't know any other details besides that, but it's nice to see that Looper is coming back. Now, we will also have a bunch of different seasonal events like we do mostly every year. We will have a Valentine's Day event, and this time it'll feature the Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta, and then we will have a football time event featuring American cars like the VLF, Tryon, and the BXR Bailey Blade, and there will actually be an anime month event featuring the 918 Spider of all cars, which is interesting, and of course we'll have things like Carnival and St. Patrick's Day events as well. Now let's go over some other important things with this update. Firstly, we will have another Asphalt board feature, and this time it's the option to enable and disable ghosts. So this is going to be a really cool option that a lot of you guys seem to really want, and so as you guys requested, you will now have the ability to hide the ghosts from Grand Prix and Clash races. So essentially when you play, the Grand Prix or the Clash, you'll see your opponent's time as a ghost car driving alongside you. Sometimes it can be a bit distracting, so now you'll have the ability to turn that off. And next up, we have something that I am personally super duper excited about. I've always said that I want more esports, and the Asphalt series is coming back. So we don't have any very specific details regarding the Asphalt series. However, there will be 4 Asphalt series time limited events. Most likely those will be the qualifiers, and if you win, you can earn a trip to the finals that will be held in Barcelona on April 27th. That sounds so darn cool. A LAN final for Asphalt 9. Hopefully I can be involved in some way because that would be awesome. I would love to just be involved in more esports. Hopefully we will have more of these types of events later on in the year, because I think Asphalt and Esports is just a match made in heaven. And finally, we'll talk about just a couple of other little changes. Firstly, the multiplayer 1 tracks rotation will be updated to Paris and New York. So for the first weeks of the update, you will actually be able to play with Paris in multiplayer, which is awesome. I don't know if it's being added to career mode specifically, but at least we can just play in multiplayer on Paris, which is nice. They've been doing this rotation thing where they have 2 select tracks that are in each season of multiplayer. Of course, this won't change multiplayer 2 tracks. I believe in multiplayer 2 you can play all of the tracks. Now there will also be an option to skip the A9 bank notification that you get after every race, and to do this you just tap anywhere on the screen and it'll make it go away. Now if you don't know what A9 bank is, I believe it's a little feature that is being tested within part of the community, and essentially you build up a bank, I guess, after each race, and then if you pay or something like that, you can claim a bunch of tokens if you want to. Now, there is also another feature being tested, that is the daily event pass. I don't know too many details about that. I haven't personally received that feature on my end. I may make a video about this in the future, but that is being tested as well. So just to give you guys a head up, another pass is being added to the game. And that's really about it for this update. There was a lot to go over, guys, so I encourage you to click the link in the description to go straight to the patch notes and read them over yourselves. Let me know what you guys think of the cars that are being added. Lots of returning faces from Asphalt 8, which is good or bad, depending on how you think of it. I kind of like that. I hope more nostalgia cars are going to be added to Asphalt 9, because I always enjoy seeing them in the updated graphics of A9. But overall, I'm really just most excited about the Paris track and, of course, the Asphalt series esports events. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more Asphalt 9 content, and I will see you guys later.